Imagine this coast with no buildings, just coastal scrub. That is the sight that met the crew, the convicts and the passengers aboard the brig Amity, as they anchored off Redcliffe in September 1824, just a bit over 200 years ago. Amity made her way over this broad expanse of Moreton Bay to reach Redcliffe, having first crossed the treacherous shoals of the South Passage Bar between Moreton and North Stradbroke Islands. Just imagine the excitement, fears and trepidations of these good folk, prisoner, soldier, sailor and free settler. What individual emotions possessed each one, as Amity dropped anchor. The purpose of this video is to show you what now stands on the several historic locations that once hosted the infrastructure of the pioneering settlement of Redcliffe. The area was initially named by explorer Matthew Flinders when he observed red soil of the cliffs at Woody Point. Later explorers and settlers conferred the name Redcliffe Point on the promontory to the immediate south of the landing point. The actual landing spot is marked by a now aging inscribed stone that is becoming more difficult to read. It is a memorial to the building of the Redcliffe Jetty but marks the commencement of the convict trail. We will follow the convict trail during this video. But let's step back a bit in time. It is not stretching truth to claim that Brisbane was founded because some British officials thought that life was too soft in Sydney Cove. Yes, that's what they thought. Sydney was seen in some quarters as a bit of a holiday camp. A holiday rather than a punishment. In 1817, Earl Bathurst, colonial secretary in Lord Liverpool's Conservative British government, wrote to Viscount Sidmouth, Home Secretary, stating his concern that transport to New South Wales was no longer an effective deterrent to the criminal class. Stories of the successes of some former convicts, especially during Governor Lachlan Macquarie's term in office from 1810-21, had found their way back home to the mother country. Bathurst suspected that transportation was no longer seen as a punishment short of hanging, but as an option that had some appeal. So, in 1819, Bathurst commissioned John Thomas Bigg to report on how the punishment aspect could be reinstated in transportation to the colonies. Bigg's report made a range of recommendations which ultimately led to instructions being given by Governor Thomas Brisbane to Surveyor General John Oxley to examine Moreton Bay as an alternative. In 1799, Matthew Flinders had spent 11 days exploring Moreton Bay, during which period he discovered and named Redcliffe Point. In September 1824, Lieutenant Henry Miller of the 40th Foot Regiment was placed in charge of the expedition. As soon as his feet touched the ground in Sydney, Miller started his preparations. On the 9th of November of that year, Miller and his party set out on the brig Amity, a ship that had been associated with the settlement of Perth in West Australia. Passengers on the Amity included Miller and his wife and children, well-known explorer Alan Cunningham, who was the King's botanist, Surveyor General John Oxley and Oxley's assistant Hoddle. All came with servants and support staff. The military establishment was overseen by Lieutenant Butler and comprised 21 soldiers. Storekeeper Walter Scott acted as surgeon. In addition, there were 29 convicts. Someone had to do the work. After some local exploring, the area at the mouth of Humpty Bomb Creek was chosen because of ease of access and the availability of water. The development of Redcliffe into what it is today has totally changed the scene. There has been much development along the shore and the now well-known pier and breakwater. This jetty is now the mooring for I Spy, the whale watch boat. Small boat moorings in the shelter of the breakwater have been removed. In this video we will attempt to reconcile the Redcliffe of convict days to the modern city. The main locations of buildings in the old Redcliffe are known and marked with signage along the Redcliffe Convict Trail. We will follow that trail and see what is there now. Stop 1 on the Convict Trail is the landing site, Amity, anchored just over 1 kilometre offshore. The ship's boats landed the first passengers just to the south of the Redcliffe Jetty, the modern city's most recognisable structure. The landing site avoided the off-lying shoals of rocks that lie offshore from Redcliffe Point, opposite the swimming lagoon known as Settlement Cove Park and the adjoining basketball court. These shoals are exposed at low tide but covered, and a boating hazard at high tide. The second stop along the trail is First Settlement Wall. This blue stone wall, built to symbolise the sails of the brig Amity, has pride of place in Rotary Park, which it shares with the cenotaph, war memorials and a playground. The area is fairly flat and beside the mouth of Humpty Bong Creek. A first attempt at agriculture took place here but was apparently quite unsuccessful, despite regular watering. But it was summertime and can be hot. The area is also exposed to strong onshore winds. This area now hosts community events and memorial days like Anzac Day and Remembrance Day. It marks the northern extent of regular Sunday market days and other civic gatherings. The Amity Memorial dominates this space. There are 4 large plaques attached to the wall. One shows a good representation of the brig Amity. 2 others list the military establishment, accompanying civilians including family, and all of the convicts. A 4th shows a map of the initial village of the new colony. A feature of the shore north of the landing site is the huge Norfolk pines, brought here and planted from Norfolk Island, to which they are native. A very good example of the benefits of early planting. These trees were not here in the days of the colony. Planting started in the 1930s. Our next stop is at the site of the Commissariat store. The first store was a temporary structure, built near the landing site. Its historical marker is in front of the amenities block near Chemist Warehouse. The store acted as a procurement and distribution facility for the colony's food, seed, tools, timber, clothing and equipment. This was the storage for the colony's wealth, so it was under 24-hour guard by the troops and under the watchful eye of Commander Miller. Later, the original building was replaced with a more permanent structure, but that did not give it permanence. The store was dismantled and rebuilt on the bank of the Brisbane River at the new Brisbane settlement, taking a bit of Redcliffe history with it. In its final form, it still stands at 115 William Street in Brisbane City. Fresh water was a necessity, and the next stop, 4, was the original source of drinking water. Humpty Bong Creek, that enters Moreton Bay near to the landing site, became the fresh water supply to the colony. Water was required before the ship's company could disembark. It took a small party of men to find Humpty Bong lagoons. It is hard to believe that the search took 2 days. Now, over developed land, it is less than a 5-minute walk. The next stop on our walk is the site of the Brig Kiln and Weir. Stop 5. In what is now Corscaden Park, beside Humpty Bong Creek, the settlers found good quality clay suitable for the manufacture of bricks. Brisbane's first bricks were produced here. The Redcliffe colony was only in existence for about 8 months, but during that period, enough bricks were produced to build a blacksmith's forge and a freestanding shop, pave the floors of the soldiers' barracks, construct a deep well and build a better brick kiln. Some of the bricks went to Brisbane with the move of the colony and were put to use in the new house for the commandant, including the brick chimney and kitchen. Some found their way into new colonial-era houses built by settlers. Later, a weir was built on Humpty Bong Creek to provide a more certain water supply for settlers. Part of the retaining wall can be seen on the banks of the creek, adjacent to a recently renovated section. Stop 6 is the site of the Soldiers' Barracks. The barracks were built in the vicinity of the current Redcliffe Tavern, near the northeast corner of Anzac Avenue and John Street. 9 of the soldiers brought wives and 7 of the couples had children. The building apparently provided both married and single quarters. This structure was built a distance from the convict barracks for safety reasons as well as desired social separation. Uniformed armed soldiers were employed to supervise the convicts. Given disciplinary methods of the day, there was an understandable enmity between convict and soldier that made separation highly desirable. An historical marker indicates that the commandant's residence was in the vicinity of the Bluewater Square shopping centre, but it seems that the residence was further west in Anzac Avenue, near Humpty Bong Creek. A sketch map of the area suggests this position. A 5-room prefabricated house had been transported to the site for Commandant Lieutenant Henry Miller. The site was between the soldiers' barracks and Humpty Bong Creek. When the Amity arrived, the commandant's wife was heavily pregnant. She made history when she gave birth to Charles Morton Miller, the first European child born in the colony. When the colony moved to Brisbane, the commandant's house went too. It was re-erected at the new site, which today is home to the William Street Heritage-listed government printing office constructed in 1874. Despite the different street addresses, the two properties actually face each other across William Street, right next door to the new Queen's Wharf Hotel Casino complex. There had to be a whipping post. The post was at stop 8. The location of the whipping post seems to have been in the area of the car park to the north of Bluewater Square shopping centre. The post was 3 metres tall and survived until 1932. Whippings were severe and were often 50 or 100 lashes. The medical officer was on hand, but mostly to revive the prisoner if he fainted from the pain. There was not much compassion shown in a colony intended to be a more severe punishment than transportation to Sydney Cove. The barbaric procedure was witnessed by the other convicts to dissuade him from infringing the rules. Finally, at stop 9 we reach the site of the convict barracks. The convict barracks were built at the site now occupied by the Ambassador Hotel, clearly a piece of land destined to provide sustenance and shelter. The prisoners built their own accommodation. Quarrying clay was very time-consuming, so the prisoners' barracks was constructed of thick timber slabs. Cells were 2 metres tall with a floor area 5 by 3.3 metres. The barracks had a brick floor which, together with some of the bricks, were later used in the construction of the Ambassador Hotel. I understand that the brick floor is still visible within the hotel kitchen area. The Redcliffe convict settlement was totally abandoned. The new settlement on the Brisbane River grew and was surrounded by farmland that eventually included Redcliffe. The name was permanent. In time, because of the beaches at Redcliffe, the town became a residential area and a fishing location. Then came the holiday resorts and the high-rise. Along with this development came the retirement villages. Hence Ruth and me, happily settled until advancing age calls the next move.